Welcome to Prep Rally Live, special Zoom edition this week. Graham Thomas and Rick Fires coming to you from different ends of Northwest Arkansas, but excited to talk to us about some high school football games this week. Rick, how you doing over there?
Man, I'm doing fine. I'm jacked up, ready to go. Love the schedule this week.
Awesome. Well, we've got three really good ball games we're going to examine for you guys today, and we're going to start off with a 5A West thriller at Alma's Airedale Stadium coming up on Friday when the Airedales host the Harrison Goblins. And man, Rick, I've been to Airedale Stadium enough to know that I can't even imagine a better place in Arkansas to be on a Friday night than for this ball game. And I know you've gotten to experience this particular rivalry quite a few times.
I've done this rivalry probably about 15, 17 years. It's one of the best in the state. I've covered a lot of games all over the state. I like being down in Southeast Arkansas during deer season when they're fixing to head out in the woods. They all got the orange vest. But this right here, Tommy Tice, it goes back to days of Tommy Tice, Frank Vine, two legendary Hall of Fame coaches, really good friends off the field. But, man, they get at it. Tommy Tice, talk about bringing that Crooked Creek water, that magic from Crooked Creek. Alma Airedale with the actual Airedale right there, the beautiful manicured berms up there. The stands are going to be packed. I love this rivalry. Jackson Daly again had a big game, 177 yards rushing last week. We love this conference. This is a big game in the 5A West. Looking forward to it.
Well, and I think as far as predictions go, Rick, I'll go first on this one. So, I know Alma is rolling. They're 3-0. They came up with a huge win at Pea Ridge last week, and they've won some 5A West games. But I'm looking at Harrison, and Harrison's been such a good team for so many years now, even after the Tommy Tice days, right? They kind of hit a little bit of a lull, but then Joel Wells brought them back up to the upper part of that league. And then, Coach Wells, he's the golf coach now, but Coach Keelan comes in and he's done a good job. And Harrison's kind of, they've been up and down this year. They've lost to Mountain Home, they've lost to Shiloh, but they've also had some big wins. They beat Batesville, they beat Prairie Grove, and I know Alma's been rolling, and I just kind of feel like the time they're just kind of sitting right for Harrison to kind of roll in there and shock the world and beat the Alma Airedales. Who you got?
Well, I'm going to use the language of the hills. I'm a hillbilly myself. I'm again you. I'm going again you. I ain't going to take them goblins from the hills. I think Alma is at home. Jackson Daly is just going off right now at quarterback. They got other skilled people. They're at home. I've seen this rivalry a lot of times. You're exactly right. It could go either way. But I really like how the Alma Airedales, and in particular Jackson Daly, is playing. So I'm going with the Alma Airedales in this one.
All right. Well, so I've got Harrison, Rick's got Alma, and we'll see how that one plays out. Over in Centerton, Bentonville West, surprising Bentonville West, 2-1 in league play, hosts Springdale Har-Ber, 2-1 in league play. And, what you got there is you got, two teams that can really do a lot of special things on offense when they get their offenses rolling. Har-Ber with a big win against Springdale in a rivalry game. It's not easy. We talked about it last week. Har-Ber, they had a really tough non-conference schedule, and now they got to go on the road this week to the Wolverines' den over there at Bentonville West. And Bentonville West coming off a huge win at Rogers. I mean, I was there for it. They were down 17-6. I thought Rogers was going to put them away. And man, they did anything but put them away. And Bentonville West comes back and has to rally twice, actually. They were down 17-6. They come back and take the lead. Rogers comes back and regains the lead. And then Bentonville West, man, they come back and what a job by Coach Pratt and his boys. So little analysis, then we'll do the picks on this one here, Rick.
Okay, had you told me 2 or 3 weeks ago we're going to be talking about this game, I said, oh, Graham, man, don't we have anything better? But it shows you how vital those wins were for both teams last year. Har-Ber They started off against this tough schedule, losing a lot of games, but now they got in conference play. They've won 2 in a row. They beat their a longtime rival. And what about Bentonville West? There was a surprise win, at least in this part of the state, I think. And so both of them are 2-1. And all of a sudden, this is a huge game. So I'm glad you picked this game right here. I love the games at Centerton. You know, they built that new high school. Used to be Gophers out there and deer, and they built that beautiful gymnasium, that school, that stadium. That's going to be an exciting time at Centerton. So, who you got on this one?
You know, I'm gonna stay with Bentonville West on this one. I think, you know, that huge win is going to propel them to another big win at home against Har-Ber, but I think it's going to be a really high scoring affair and close victory for Bentonville West.
Well, I'm with you on this one. I know Har-Ber can score a lot of points, but somebody's going to make a play. Bentonville West is really, I think they generated a lot of confidence. They're a great confidence booster to come back and beat Rogers, especially the way they did, where they just outscored them in the fourth quarter. So I'm with you on that, Bentonville West.
All right. So our last game is no doubt our game of the week. It's going to be Bentonville at Fayetteville. You know, the winner in the 7A West driver's seat, and you know, it's been this way for a long time. You know, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and you know, we're gonna know a lot more about the conference situation after the smoke clears at Harmon Field on Friday night. You know, you and I have both gotten to see these teams multiple times. I've seen Fayetteville twice myself, and I know that you've seen Fayetteville twice and Bentonville twice. And you know, before we give our picks, though, let's get a little analysis, a little breakdown.
Okay, this last year, man, I love this game. I've been watching this series go, like you say, go back and forth. Last year, I think Bentonville came back and beat them in overtime, like on a late touch. I think it was 31-30. The year before that, Fayetteville beat them and won their outright conference championship for the first time in years, even though Fayetteville has come up as number 4 seed and won state championship. This is such a great game. It's right what we thought it would be. Fayetteville 6-0. I'm waiting to hear back from Casey. I know he's going to say they got to play their best game of the year. They got to play better than they did against Southside last week. I am jacked up. Hey, I am so excited. I can't even get out of the house. My wife has given me sedative. I can't even get to the office. I'm just going around in circles. I'm so excited for this game. She gave me some couple of downers, settled me down some sedative, but they'll be worn off by Friday, and I'll be ready to get out there and just watch a great high school game. And I encourage anybody, love high school football or college football or any kind of football. Man, if you're in the neighborhood, you ought to get out there to Harmon Field and check this one out, because you're not going to be disappointed.
Well, and like you said about the Rogers game, I mean, get there early because, you know, parking spaces are going to run out pretty quick. Yeah. You know, you're going to have to walk up the hill maybe if you don't get there early enough. So
who you got?
Okay, well, you know, I've gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and seen them both, and Fayetteville's a really good football team. I mean, they're going to score a lot of points. Drake Lindsey's going to throw for a lot of yards. But the questions I've had about them is, can they run the ball effectively? Well, you know, last week at Southside they did do that. You mentioned Christian Setzer; he did a good job. Yeah. Had 100+ yards against Southside.
Yeah, 135. Yeah.
The Fayetteville defensive line, you know, they're about as good as anybody out there, and so it's going to come down to who can run the football. And if there's something that, you know, has always been very consistent ever since I've been covering football in Northwest Arkansas, it's been that Bentonville zone read, and that offensive line is usually dominating, you know, the line of scrimmage, and so. Rick, I am going to go with the Bentonville Tigers to figure out a way to win on the road at Fayetteville.
Wow, man, I thought you were leading at Fayetteville, but, man, I'm going to go with the Purple Dogs, the Fayetteville Bulldogs. Like you said, they can Drake Lindsey, University of Minnesota commit. He's going to be big-time quarterback up there. but Christian Seltzer, they showed they can run the football last week. And of course, somebody's going to have to make a play there. You know, these big time games often come down in fourth quarter, a mistake, a turnover, somebody making a defensive play. So Fayetteville Bulldogs at home, playing their best game of the year. Fayetteville takes down Bentonville, who's won a lot of conference championships and a few state championships. I got the Purple Dogs at home at Harmon Field. Let's go.
Yep. So you're saying Fayetteville is going to ring the bell.
Yeah, I got Fayetteville.
Yep. All right. Well, folks, that will wrap us up for this week's Prep Rally Live. And, certainly find you a good football game to watch because, man, as Rick said last week, the schedule's getting tighter and tighter now. Only a few games left in the regular season. So, Rick, you take care of yourself, man, and we'll see you Friday night.